Back with another hard-hitting episode of the Callous Mind livecast. So this is lucky episode 13, and I want to be the first to welcome everybody to the month of December. Man, how about that? December 1st. I'm sure everyone will agree with me when I say that the year 2020 can go fornicate itself with a stick. So we got about 30 days left of this horrendous year, and hopefully 2021 will be much better. That's about all I can say about that. Having said that, I would like to wish all the December birthdays in the audience a very happy birthday. December birthdays I know include my stepbrother Phil, my stepmom Sue, my deceased cousin Dwayne, and my friend Butch, aka Andrew. So happy birthday to all of you. If you beautiful viewers would like me to shout out your birthday or special date, then comment in the live chat or comment section below for those watching the replay. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the Week 12 pick results. And they were actually pretty good. A lot better this week than last week's, so I'm certainly thankful for that. So, but anything is better than trash typically. So, all right. So NFL Week 12 pick results: 11 wins, 4 losses, and one of those games was postponed. You can see the Pittsburgh Steelers game was postponed. First, it was until Tuesday, and now it's been moved to Wednesday. So that one still kind of hangs in the air, and I guess what I'll do is I will revisit Week 12 picks for that game at least when I go over the Week 13 pick results. So NFL Week 12, I did pretty well. Thursdays were all wins for me for a change, as Houston easily handled the Detroit Lions, and now the Detroit Lions have subsequently fired their head coach, and so the beat goes on, and the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, beat the Cowboys, and I think they at least moved into a tie for first place, if not first place in and of itself in the division, so good for them. I mean, it looks like we're going to have a sub 500 division winner there. And you know what? I mean, it may as well be Washington. Why not? Starting on Sunday, my Raiders, man, they take it and just get crushed by the Falcons. Really? Ouch, man. 43-6. Boy, talk about an ass whooping. The Raiders didn't even show up for whatever reason. So it's very discouraging because they played Kansas City so well the week before that, and they're still the only team to give Kansas City a loss, but yet they go to Atlanta and just get crushed. But you know what? When you turn the ball over 5 times or 5 times plus, whatever it was, it's something ridiculous, and you just can't do that and win football games. So they kind of got what they deserved in that game by turning the ball over so much. Chargers and Bills. No great surprise there. West Coast team traveling east, and the Bills win, and that also gives me a W. New York Giants barely beat the Bengals there, 19-17. Wow, but you can see Daniel Jones leaves the game with a hamstring injury. But, look at Cincinnati. I mean, they're still competitive even though they've lost Joe Burrow, so I didn't really expect them to be able to put up that many points, but they did, and here they are. So that speaks to their team, that speaks to their coaching, and maybe the Bengals will continue to play spoiler or at least challenge contenders down here through the end of the season. So that one was a win for me. And then Indianapolis Colts, man, how about the Colts, boy, taking it on the chin at home against the Titans, boy. And that was for control of the AFC South. So the Titans have captured all-out first place in the AFC South there. And, wow, Good for the Titans, but that was a loss for me. Panthers at Vikings. Look at that squeaker, man. The Vikings squeaked by 28-27, and but I had picked Minnesota, so I got the win there. And how about the Cardinals losing it in the last seconds of the game? Terrible, terrible loss for the Cardinals and Cardinals fans. You know, it's amazing to me that the Cardinals, or I should say the Patriots, are having what I would deem to be a down year for them. But yet I believe my Raiders lost to the Patriots, and now the Cardinals have also lost to the Patriots. So down year for the Patriots must mean they're still good against my teams. I guess that's the way this works. Miami Dolphins go to New York and win, which is no great surprise. I had the Dolphins in that game. This game, the next game, the Browns versus the Jaguars, that game score was a little closer than I thought it would be. The Browns barely squeaked it out, but that does give me another W, as I did pick the Browns. New Orleans Saints go into Denver and win, but I don't believe I believe all of the Broncos quarterbacks were unable to play because they were on the COVID-19 list. And if I'm mistaken, you can let me know that in the comments section of the live chat, but I believe that was the case. So that it's probably pretty amazing that they even scored 3 points. And so the Saints go to Denver and roll, which is kind of surprising, but it would be more surprising if the Broncos had a competent quarterback, because typically dome teams don't perform well, outside in the would-be cold. So 49ers and Rams, how about that? I'd picked the Rams in that game, and that means an L for me, but I got to give a lot of credit to the 49ers, because even with all their injuries, they still rise up and play division rivals well. So good for them. And the 49ers get the win in Los Angeles. Chiefs at Buccaneers. My God, this game ended up being a lot closer than it started out. And the Chiefs keep rolling, if only by a field goal. So the Chiefs now sit at 10-1, and they look like they are just a freight train running over almost everybody. So we'll see what happens the remainder of the year, but I'd picked the Chiefs, obviously, and that was another win for me. And then the Bears and Packers. Look at the Bears, man. They mustered 25 points. How about that? And look at Trubisky there, 3 touchdowns. Wow. Good for him, but they lose to the Pack in Green Bay. Not a real big surprise there. At least they were competitive. They didn't get blown out like the Raiders did. So, but that was another win for me. And then on Monday night, that game, I would think that the Seahawks would have won by a greater margin than what they did, but they did not. That's what it is, and welcome to the NFL. But the Seahawks do get the win on the road in Philly, and not a real big surprise there. So that wraps up the Week 12 pick results, and now let's get on to Week 13 here. So bear with me 1 second here. All right, so NFL Week 13 picks. Looks like everything's on Sunday and Monday, no Thursday night games this week, and that may be because they had to postpone that other game, or maybe this is just the way the schedule laid out, because there was supposed to be 3 games on Thanksgiving night, or Thanksgiving Day / night, but one of them got postponed and only 2 of them got played. So NFL Week 13 picks: New Orleans at Atlanta. With Drew Brees still being out and Atlanta just finishing thumping the Raiders at home, we'll see if they can carry some of that momentum into this game with their NFC South rival, the New Orleans Saints. So I will take Atlanta at home against the Saints. Detroit at Chicago, a battle of the NFC North. And I don't know that I still trust Chicago. I don't really know that I trust the Lions. This is kind of a toss-up for me, but I will take the Lions on the road at the Chicago Bears. And I know that Adams probably got something to say about that, but I will take Detroit at Chicago. Cleveland at Tennessee. Cleveland just played a real close game with Jacksonville, and that really makes me nervous, so I don't necessarily trust them to go to Tennessee and win. So I will take Tennessee at home against Cleveland. Cincinnati at Miami. I think there's no question that Miami wins that game, although Cincinnati will probably be competitive, but the Dolphins seem like they're going to be one of those teams that at least gets a wild card in the AFC. So I'll take Miami at home against Cincinnati. Jacksonville at Minnesota. I will take Minnesota at home against Jacksonville. Both of those teams played tight games this past weekend, but I'll give Minnesota the benefit of the doubt because they are at home. So Minnesota at home against Jacksonville. Las Vegas Raiders at New York Jets. This may be what the doctor ordered for for the Raiders. They need to play a team like the Jets, although the Jets have played a lot of people tough. And most likely, since I'm picking the Raiders in this game, the Jets will give the Raiders fits. But I will go ahead and use my best judgment here, and I will take the Raiders over the Jets. Next up, let's see here. Washington at Pittsburgh. While I do believe somewhat in the Washington football team, I don't believe they are the team that's going to go into Pittsburgh and win. So I will take Pittsburgh at home against the Washington football team. Indianapolis Colts at Houston Texans. The reality is that Indianapolis needs this game very, very badly. So I will pick Indianapolis to win in Houston. Los Angeles Rams at Arizona Cardinals. This is another one. The Rams just come off of a pretty surprising loss to the 49ers. And the Raiders just, or not the Raiders, the Cardinals just come off that terrible loss to the Patriots. So I'm going to give Arizona the benefit of the doubt since they're playing at home. And I will take the Cardinals at home against the Los Angeles Rams. New York Giants at Seattle Seahawks. This would have probably been an interesting game if Jones hadn't got hurt for the Giants, but I don't know what their backup quarterback situation is, and I don't know if Daniel Jones will be playing in this game or not, but I will go ahead and take Seattle at home against the New York Giants, and then Philadelphia at Green Bay. Life is not getting any easier for the Eagles here as they have to go into Green Bay. Now, realistically, they could, go into Green Bay and surprise. Who knows? But I don't necessarily believe in them very much, so I will take Green Bay at home against Philadelphia. New England at Los Angeles Chargers. You are, in fact, reading that right. I am taking the Los Angeles Chargers to beat the New England Patriots in Los Angeles. Denver Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what Denver's quarterback situation is going into this game, and I don't even really know that it matters. I'll take Kansas City at home against the Denver Broncos. And then on Monday, we have two games. And that is Dallas at Baltimore, which I don't trust Dallas in the least. So I think Baltimore wins that game handily at home against the Dallas Cowboys. And then Buffalo at San Francisco, which this game is going to be played in Arizona, as a matter of fact, because San Francisco, my understanding is they will be playing Week 13 and 14 here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium, but I will take Buffalo here against San Francisco. So that will wrap up Week 13 picks right there. All right. Let me go ahead and get to some Interesting stories. Yeah, I just kind of touched on this one a little bit, but I'll go ahead and show you guys the official news source that I'm seeing. 49ers to play weeks 13, 14 in Cardinals State Farm Stadium. So this was published on November 30th. The San Francisco 49ers have agreed with the NFL and Arizona Cardinals to play their Week 13 and 14 scheduled home games at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Santa Clara County officials issued directives barring the Niners from playing at their home Levi Stadium in response to rising cases of coronavirus in the area. The rules take effect Monday and will last until December 21st. The team also practices at that site. So the 49ers have home games scheduled for December 7th against Buffalo and December 13th against Washington. The matchup against the Bills is set to be featured in primetime on Monday Night Football, which we just discussed that in the picks. And San Francisco 49ers have come to an agreement with the National Football League and Arizona Cardinals, which allow 49ers to host their Weeks 13 and 14 home games against the Buffalo Bills and Washington football team at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. So I don't know if thing doesn't go on to say if they're going to be selling tickets or allowing fans or not, but that would be interesting because I would imagine there's quite a few 49ers fans here in Arizona who would like to attend those games, but I guess we shall see. So NFL standings. I want to go ahead and bring this up before I get to stories, because I'm kind of short on interesting stories this week. So NFL standings 2020 after week 12 in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills, look at their point differential, plus 17. Look at the Dolphins, plus 79. Man, wow. And now the Dolphins are 7-4. So don't get away too fast there, Buffalo, because Miami still could catch you for that AFC East title, and that would just be incredible, man, incredible. But I still think the Dolphins will make the playoffs. They'll at least win one of the wild cards. I'm starting to have my doubts about my beloved Raiders, because there's the Browns in the AFC North sitting at 8-3, and the Ravens behind them at 6-4, and I feel like both those teams may be better than the Raiders. At least I feel like the Ravens are. I feel like the Ravens' record. I mean, if you look at the Ravens' record here at 6-4, they have a plus 73 point differential, but they've lost 2 games in a row. So something's kind of got to give there. But look at the Steelers, plus 124, winners of 10 in a row, man. Something's got to give, but I don't know who's going to beat them first, man. I really don't. So as we move down the standings list here, you see AFC South, look at the Titans with a plus 39. And look at the Colts in second place, plus 49. So those point differentials, man. Look at Jacksonville, minus 98. Wow. That is ridiculous. 1-10. They've actually played, I think they played better than 1-10, but, sometimes you got to be good and lucky and healthy. And if you don't hit that trifecta, then your record's probably not going to be worth a damn. So, and look at the Kansas City Chiefs, boy, plus 110, man. Damn. Them cats put up some points. Look at the Raiders, minus 27. Ugh. Broncos, minus 89, and Chargers, minus 23. But isn't it curious that I'm taking the Chargers to beat the Patriots this weekend? That might just be wishful thinking on my part, but anyway, I'm trying. And so the NFC looks like the Giants and Washington are tied for first place in the NFC East at 4-7. But look at Washington's point differential. They're only minus 2, where the Giants are minus 39. So if this thing is a true indicator, then this thing may end up pointing to who's going to win the division. But that's obviously, if they can sustain it or improve that number. But I think Washington's got a real good shot of winning the East there. And then the NFC North, look at that. The Vikings 5-6, -13. The Pack +66. So wow, good for them. Look at the Lions down there at -76. Good lord. But they're 4-7, man. I mean that's crazy. Look at them at -76. They're 4-7, and the Cowboys though -108, and they're still 3-8. So that's nuts, man. Nuts. Look at this NFC South. New Orleans Saints +101 points, man. Wow, they've won 8 in a row. So I guess they've won every game since they lost to the Raiders, I believe. That's incredible, especially considering that Drew Brees is out right now. But I still think that comes to an end this weekend. I think Atlanta, they may be getting their mojo back. So I think that should at least be a real good game. And then the NFC West, Seahawks leading it, followed by the Rams, followed by the Cardinals, man. So it wasn't that long ago that the Cardinals were sitting up here nice, but now that they've lost 2 games in a row, boy, ugly. So guess we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith that the Cardinals or the Raiders are going to make the playoffs at this point. I just do not. All right, so some other interesting stories I saw. This from November 24th. Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Randy Arozarena detained after domestic violence allegations. So Tampa Bay Rays outfielder has been detained in Mexico's Yucatan state for a situation involving allegations of domestic violence. The Yucatan State Prosecutor's Office confirmed Tuesday detained for problems related to his ex-partner. He has not been formally charged yet. On Wednesday, the case was referred to a judge in the city of Mérida. The Attorney General's Office of Yucatan reported that legal process will continue before the corresponding court, and a hearing is scheduled for Thursday. Domestic violence is never a good thing. It's better to have a punching bag around or something else to work your anger out. And I should know because I have some pretty severe anger issues. And I thought this was an interesting football story. I think this would make a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, but sources, Philadelphia Eagles rookie Jalen Hurts getting first-team reps at QB. And this was from November 29th. So rookie Jalen Hurts has been getting first-team reps at quarterback ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles' Monday Night Football game against the Seattle Seahawks. Carson Wentz is still expected to start, but there's been a noticeable increase in Hurts snaps, with the first team at QB signaling the likelihood of a more expansive role as Wentz's struggles continue. Yep. Hurts, the team's second-round pick in April, has been used primarily as a gadget player to date, with just 2 of his 31 snaps resulting in him throwing a pass, but signs point to more opportunities with the ball in his hands Monday night. Coach Doug Peterson hesitated last week when asked about potentially making a quarterback change before ultimately saying Wentz would remain the starter. And it goes on to list some stats here, but this stat down here is more interesting to me. A move to Hurts on a long-term basis is complicated by Wentz's contract situation. The Eagles signed Wentz to a 4-year, $128 million extension last summer. He carries a dead cap hit of nearly $60 million in 2021, a number that falls to $39.5 million in the 2022 offseason. So that is crazy towns, man. when these guys sign these huge contracts and it kind of straps the team, it's nuts, man. I mean, I think, you know, I thought for a long time that Derek Carr got his extension a little too early, but then again, maybe the Raiders knew what they were doing because they knew how much quarterback prices were going to rise. I don't know. I know that that's a lot of jingle right there, man. $128 million. And, this guy, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, he wasn't even the quarterback. It was Foles. So, man, I feel for the Eagles and I feel for Carson Wentz. I hope they can get their stuff back together, but I just don't know, man. This might be time to cut bait and move on, but you can't really take a dead cap hit of $60 million in 2021. So I think they're probably going to wait at least one more season before they make a move, if they make one. But that number, I mean, that number against the cap, $39.5 million, man, that's pretty stout. So I don't even know if they'd want to do it in the 2022 offseason. They may want to wait until 2023. I mean, good Lord. All right, here. So let me see what else I had. Yeah, I think I touched on this earlier. Ravens Steelers rescheduled again by COVID to Wednesday, so that came out November 30th. And then there was this other story here. This was never an easy path. Sarah Fuller and the winding road to two-sport immortality. Well, that might be a little hyperbole, but soccer practice was dragging one morning last spring when Vanderbilt assistant coach Kelly Keelan tried something different to break up the monotony. While the rest of the team practiced on the football field in the indoor facility, she gathered goalkeeper Sarah Fuller and Sophie Gilmetti near the end zone. Today, Keelan told them, "We're going to do long-range distribution." Okay. Anyway, Sarah Fuller started October as a college soccer backup. She ends November as a household name throughout sports. So, for anybody who doesn't know, this young lady started as the Vanderbilt kicker this past weekend, and apparently she's I guess won a national championship with Vanderbilt soccer or something. But I will leave a link to this story in the description box below, like I do all these stories, for anybody who wants to check it out themselves. So that's a cool story. See a girl on the football team. That's football times 2, as I like to call it, or football squared. One American football and one not American football. So... all right, let's see if I got any chats. Oh, yeah, Adam's been busy over here. Let's see what he had to say. Raiders got spanked by a terrible team. Well, yeah. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, brother. So that's just the way it goes. The Broncos did okay considering, but the hell, the Bears play without a quarterback every week. Oh, my God, that's good. Oh, man. Adam's calling it. He's saying that the Jets are finally going to get their first win, and they're going to do it against the Raiders. Man, that is brutal, son. Brutal. Well, I mean, it certainly could happen, man. I know. I don't put it by anybody, but that's just the way it goes. But all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hey, you know what? Thanks for participating in the show. Thanks for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it, as always. If you got a shout out, you can leave it in the comment section below. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and is looking forward to a great holiday season here in December. And until next Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, please don't burn stuff down. And please be good to yourselves and each other. And I will talk to you beautiful people next week. God bless.